After that event, a significant amount of time has passed. During that time, David, who is just 17 or possibly 18, replaces Main as the leader of his Edge Runner squad. Kiwi, Rebecca, Falco, and a few transitory cyberpunks currently make up the squad, with David's admirers like Julio, a new member of David's crew. David becomes a Night City legend. The fixer, Wakeko, commands the cyberpunks to free a wealthy man's daughter from the Maelstrom's gang's clutches. When they arrive, Julio displays his preferred firearm, a Militech Lexington. David gives him a Rostovi Satara instead of a Militech Lexington because it won't work against Maelstrom. As David, Julio, and Rebecca approach the building where the Maelstrom gang keeps the victim hidden, cyberpunks open fire, killing the soldiers. Meanwhile, Kiwi and Falco wait outside in the car, where Kiwi helps David by hacking the cybernetic implants in the troops. After emptying the magazines of their machine guns, Rebecca pulls out 2 Guts shotguns, which she uses to mow down several Maelstrom members. When the giant Maelstrom attacks David, he uses Sandevistan and his new leg implants to crack him down. After accidentally setting off a trip mine, Julio died. After completing a job for Wakeko, David sends Isabella Morgan back to her father. David apologizes to Wakeko for the death of Julio. Wakeko doesn't seem surprised when David breaks the dreadful news to her because she assumed Julio would pass away soon. Following that, David greets Kiwi and thanks Falco for the enjoyable journey. He explains to Kiwi that Lucy wants to rest because she still can't get over the deaths of Main and Dorio and the details of David's past that she witnessed in ICE. Meanwhile, Rebecca appears. She asks David to downgrade cybernetics for his sanity, but like Main, he stubbornly refuses. Rebecca warns him that he may end up like the cyber psycho that killed her brother Pilar. Then David goes to his doctor. David hears the doctor mention Atom Smasher, the 4th corporate war, as a hero in Smasher. According to the doctor, in the future, David might end up being like him. Meanwhile, Kiwi sets up a meeting of David with Faraday for a job. This time, instead of Arasaka, Faraday brings a deal from his rival, Militech. Faraday offers him a job from Militech against Arasaka to test whether he is worthy of inheriting Main's last position to recover the data Tanaka was hiding. Due to Lucy's skills as a netrunner hacker, Faraday appears adamant about having her back on the squad. They are unaware that Lucy deleted Tanaka's knowledge of the Cyber Skeleton project. When David gets home later, it is clear from his apartment that he leads a lavish life. Lucy and David are sharing an apartment, as well as a sexual relationship. David inquires about Lucy's past. Lucy discloses that to recover lost data, Arasaka assembled and educated a superb group of netrunners. However, recovering lost data from OldNet was exceedingly risky since it exposed them to malware and rogue AIs, ultimately leading to the deaths of most of the netrunner crew. Lucy says that one day, she and the remaining team members decided to flee Arasaka. Because of their excellent preparation, they were able to escape the Arasaka and arrive in the Night City, a city where anyone could hide. Lucy also reveals that initially she was selfish and only cared about herself, and now she is tenser about David's health. David wants Lucy to return to the team despite her traumatic and violent life, but he can't convince her to rejoin the crew. Lucy is going after netrunners who were trying to find out about the latest person using the Sandevistan, David. She kills an Arasaka agent who, during his investigation, discovers that the data was mysteriously wiped from Tanaka's records. David and his gang are going to kill the director of the Arasaka lab, the task assigned to them by Faraday. With Rebecca and Kiwi remaining in the vehicle, David goes into the Arasaka building, and Kiwi helps David infiltrate the Arasaka building by hacking into their security systems. David shoots the director in the head, but the director's secretary, working late that night, freezes when she sees that David killed the director. David hesitates before shooting the secretary, but he eventually does it and goes back to the group. Arasaka's counterintelligence is looking into the unsolved murders of its employees. They suspect that their adversary, Militech, might be responsible for the fatalities. Faraday narrowly escapes an assassination attempt they stage against him in the underground parking lot. Faraday encounters a Militech after narrowly avoiding Arasaka's attack. As a result of Faraday's inability to recover data on Arasaka's cyber skeleton project, the person inside the automobile declined to offer to protect him. Faraday crosses sides from Militech to Arasaka and meets with one of Arasaka's representatives after Militech declines to provide protection. Arasaka says their organization is willing to forgive Faraday for Tanaka's death and offers him a position with their organization, but in return, Arasaka wants Faraday to eliminate eliminate everyone who knows about the cyberskeleton and bring in the Netrunner who has been killing Arasaka's Netrunners whenever they get close to finding David's identity. When the Edgerunner gang's backup Netrunner, Lucy, deep dives into Tanaka's cyberware, Lucy saw something in Tanaka's data, after which she began behaving strangely. After Lucy discovered that an Arasaka agent was looking for the missing data in Tanaka's records, she killed that agent. So Lucy is the one who is hiding Tanaka's data and killing Arasaka's agents. In the meantime, David's signs of cyberpsychosis are getting worse. People lose their minds when they get too many implants into their bodies to enhance themselves. The metal starts to take over their bones and mind. In addition to showing symptoms of cyberpsychosis, David suffers from trauma because he killed an innocent secretary who reminded him of his mother, Gloria Martinez. Lucy brings David to the doctor when he faints, who counsels him to reduce the number of implants. However, David loses his composure and strikes the doctor, ruining their friendship. David receives immunosuppressants from the doctor. While returning home, Lucy asks him to remove his hardware, but David thinks he is built differently, as if he is a chosen character and he will not meet the same fate as Maine or any cyberware users. Instead of choosing a different path, he strives to achieve more than Maine to fulfill his dreams for him. He is warned several times by Rebecca, Lucy, Ripperdoc, and even his enemies that that's not how this works, but he doesn't listen to them. David again tries to recruit Lucy back into the gang, but she denies it. When Lucy explains that there is something else she has to take care of first, David contemplates in a massive aggressive outburst that they should break up because they have different paths. He is making his situation worse. Suddenly, Lucy detects another Arasaka agent trying to find Tanaka's data. Lucy tells David that she has to go, and Lucy runs off in tears to pursue an Arasaka Netrunner trying to decipher info on David's affinity to cybernetics. Because Kiwi is collaborating with Faraday, the Arasaka agent, Lucy ends up in a trap. Kiwi turns out to have betrayed the group to Faraday. Faraday recruits Kiwi, who double-crosses David to set a trap for Lucy, and she walks right into it. Since Lucy and David departed on a sour note, he doesn't check up on her for a while. Faraday and Kiwi interrogate Lucy and discover that she has been hiding a test subject's data from Tanaka's records. The test subject for the cyberskeleton is none other than David. It is also revealed that Lucy was responsible for Tanaka's death to ensure his silence. Lucy attempts to cover up for David, resulting in Faraday and Arasaka becoming aware of his potential. Kiwi becomes an evil former friend when she betrays all of them for a big payday and a chance to work for Arasaka. She continues to reassure herself that you can't trust anyone in Night City. Faraday assigns David and his gang a fake mission to execute his plan to assault an Arasaka convoy. David and his crew, which includes Kiwi, Rebecca, and Falco, the driver, head on and destroy many troops and vehicles. In the meantime, David's cyberpsychosis begins to spike. When Rebecca asks him to knock off the gig, he tells her to take him to a doctor. When cyberpunks are on their ride, the Arasaka gang attacks them. David and Rebecca shoot on the convoy while Kiwi tries to hack the braking system. Rebecca asks David not to manipulate Sandevistan, but he utilizes it and identifies the main cargo. Soon, they apprehend that the load is operating on autopilot. David says he can keep so much hardware in his body because he is special and manages to seize the convoy's main cargo. Meanwhile, Arasaka's executive class AV arrives to take their lost Netrunner, Lucy. Suddenly, a Militech force arrives there, thanks to a tip from Faraday. They start firing missiles at the gang. To protect themselves from the missiles, the gang goes inside the main cargo where they find the cyber skeleton. Faraday uses Lucy's voice to trick David and explains that he must install the cyber skeleton as it is the only way he can defeat the Militech force, save the gang, and survive. Once Arasaka witnesses the demonstration, they can proceed to capture David. The Militech force is outside, but they have stopped firing missiles. Kiwi, who has been working with Faraday, hacks Falco's cyberware, short-circuits him, and escapes. Lucy somehow manages to escape briefly and warns David that Faraday is behind all this and that he wants David to install the cyber skeleton. Rebecca works to stop the cyber skeleton installation at 99% by injecting David with immunosuppressants. Having been exposed, Faraday tells the man in the invincible exoskeleton, David, that he is holding his girlfriend hostage. Faraday also tells David to show Arasaka that he can only wield the cyber skeleton by killing the oncoming soldiers. After discovering the truth, David gets angry and uses the cyber skeleton cyberskeleton to annihilate the Militech force. However, using the cyberskeleton takes a massive toll on David's body. Falco and Rebecca watch in shock as David takes out Militech, but in doing so ends up going cyber psycho. The cyberskeleton is something that immediately induces cyberpsychosis, but David can keep it in check with massive amounts of drugs as well as his love of Lucy. After defeating the Militech force, David asks the remaining gang members, Rebecca and Falco, if they will help him rescue Lucy and get revenge on Faraday, and they both agree. With the basilisk down and the convoy decimated, Falco, Becca, and David head towards the Arasaka Tower, which is located in the center of Night City. The remaining armed guards attack them. As the crew enters the city, Faraday and Kiwi worry that David will be coming for them next. At this point, David has both the Sandevistan and the cyberskeleton installed in his body. He is also showing signs of cyberpsychosis, so Arasaka's counterintelligence alerts the MaxTac that David might be cyberpsycho. 3 MaxTacs arrive, and David crushes them all. David's condition deteriorates because he is running out of immunosuppressants. On his way, David uses the cyberskeleton to fight the Militech, Arasaka, and MaxTac forces. Meanwhile, Kiwi tells Faraday this is the last time she works with him. She only wanted her share and wanted to cut ties with him, but Faraday shoots Kiwi and says that it was his contract to kill anyone who knew about the cyberskeleton, which includes Kiwi. After shooting her, Faraday starts to proceed to the Arasaka HQ. Kiwi does not die with a single bullet, so she runs away and hides. In her dying breath, Kiwi phones Falco and tells the gang that Faraday betrayed her. She then gives them Faraday's location and tells them that Lucy is with him. While Kiwi is talking on the call, 2 of Faraday's boys kill her. David is too much for Arasaka to handle, so they request Atom Smasher, the mythic all-cyberware super soldier, to defeat David. Smasher is the only one who can go toe-to-toe with David. There's only 1 vial left before David loses control completely, but he prepares for the final fight. David is almost entirely consumed by using the cyberskeleton, and it seems like he has only minutes to maybe an hour before he's insane, even with massive medicine. Faraday delivers Lucy to Arasaka and tries to bargain with Douglas, but in the midst of this, David shows up and turns the tables completely. The Arasaka counter-intel agent, Faraday, and every Arasaka guard in the room are shocked when the super weapon practically teleports and steals all their guns. He destroys all the guards and knocks Faraday down into a bloody puddle. However, Smasher fatally wounds David. David is dipping in and out of lucidity due to his cyberpsychosis. David manages to scoop up Lucy and takes her away. While he loses control, Lucy leans forward and kisses him, bringing the guy back from the brink. David has resigned himself to his fate, knowing he will die. However, he encourages Lucy to live and to keep on going. Faraday has been knocked off the Arasaka Tower and falls to his death. The cops hold down Falco and Rebecca. David reunites Lucy with the gang. Unfortunately, Smasher shows up again and this time destroys Rebecca, turning her into a bloody mess. He also shoots Falco before turning his attention to David. With no more suppressants left, David asks Falco to take Lucy with him and escape while he stays behind to hold off Atom Smasher. David takes on Atom Smasher one last time but fails as he damages all his equipment. Even before he dies, David has no regrets because he knows that at least Lucy is safe and she can fulfill her dream. Atom Smasher offers to use Soul Killer on a dying David to make him an immortal mercenary of Arasaka. David declines. Atom Smasher takes down David and kills him. After some time, Lucy heads out to the moon alone for her tour to fulfill her dream. However, she feels sad and hallucinates David is with her. Then she stands in solitude, taking in the sun's warmth. Thanks for watching my anime recap. If you liked it, subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon so you don't miss future videos. Leave a comment and let me know what you thought of this recap. I hope to see you all in the next recap series.